Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, we need to talk. We need to talk this Andrew stuff. And I want to talk about how it could relate possibly to Harry and Meghan. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. And I sincerely appreciate it. Wow. I am shocked and honestly kind of relieved about this news. I'm surprised, and I just kind of want to get some thoughts out there. And for once, I actually might have a little bit of scoop. What do I mean? I have a friend, thank you, friend, in the know, potentially. So I might know a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about all that and just kind of get my thoughts out there. And I really want you to get your thoughts out here. I'm sure you know, but in case you don't, we got this today. This is courtesy of the Daily Mail, but I'll read the letter that was sent out. But it's showing that Andrew is stripped of his prince title and his home. King's shamed brother will be Mr. Mountbatten-Windsor and has his lease on Royal Lodge revoked. Monarch says these censures are deemed necessary amid scandal. Now, if you're new here, YouTube doesn't like the E word, so I just call him J.E. if I talk about him. So let's talk about this. This is big, big news. I mean, anybody else shocked? Yeah, me too. Didn't see that coming with the birth and the prince and all of that. Let's talk about it. I'm just kind of in shock. First, let's read the letter from King Charles, and then we'll go from there. Royal Communications sent today, Thursday, August 30th. His Majesty has today initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. His lease on Royal Lodge has to date provided him with legal protection to continue in residence. Formal notice has now been served to surrender the lease, and he will move to alternative private accommodations. These censures are deemed necessary, notwithstanding the fact that he continues to deny allegations against him. Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any forms of abuse. Woo! Hello. All right, let's talk about this. It is important to say right off the bat, he has not been charged with anything. But damn, right? Anybody else like, heck yeah, I think this is a good thing. I do. I think it's a big step, and a big step by King Charles. Now, here's what's funny. I spent today recording a few videos that you'll see coming out soon. So if I say something out of date, that's why. It's because I'm leaving town. So of course this stuff happens. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I do want to give a shout out and a huge thank you to friend of the channel, John Witherspoon. I spent today recording with him, and I have a bunch of stuff dropping that's very relevant to stuff that Harry and Meghan have been up to, thoughts about Andrew and Fergie and all that stuff. So look for that. It's still very topical. Just didn't have this information when we recorded because this just broke. Anyway, let's talk about this some more. So let's take a look. I have a picture of Royal Lodge. Oops, that's not it. Of Royal Lodge in case you wanted to see, because I was curious too. Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park, Andrew's former home. So no more Prince Andrew. How about that? Wow. All right. So what titles are being removed? From the way I understand it, it's Prince, which was a birthright as son of Queen Elizabeth II, Duke of York, which was bestowed by Her Majesty the late Queen in 1986 upon his marriage, Earl of Inverness, and Baron, I'm so sorry, I will not be able to say that word. Is it Killylleagh, Keeley? Hopefully that's right. It's subsidiary titles tied to the dukedom. He's losing his style of His Royal Highness, HRH. And from what I understand, he's losing honors such as Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order and Royal Knight Companion of the Most Noble Order of the Garter, one of the oldest chivalric orders. So again, as I'm understanding at the time of this recording, Andrew will now be known simply as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. It's the family surname for non-titled royals. This is a dramatic demotion. The last comparable case was over 100 years ago in 1917 because of the Titles Deprivation Act, when titles were stripped from royals who sided with Germany back in World War I. Process and timeline. So this removal is immediate and formal, involving royal warrants to the Lord Chancellor to update the peerage roll. So I'm going to avoid talking about most of the others because as far as Beatrice and Eugenie, because I just don't want to go there yet. Until we know, I just don't want to go there yet. I don't. I will talk about Andrew and Fergie, though. Andrew remains 8th in line to the throne, but is fully sidelined. No more public duties, military affiliations, which sounds like that mostly went away in 2022. Sorry, I forgot I set an alarm for something. 2022, or invitations to family events like Christmas at Sandringham. Virginia Giuffre's family is being quoted as hailing it as a tipping point for accountability. I say good for King Charles. This is a pretty big, decisive action, I would say. So let's talk about the historical rarity. Again, this isn't just a title tweak. It's the first time in over a century a prince has been stripped of his core identity. So Andrew's fall, they're pointing out, echoes Edward VIII's abdication fallout, but without the exile perks, proving even birthrights aren't bulletproof. See how that could relate to Harry and Meghan? We'll get there. Don't worry. Again, this is triggered by J.E. Renewed heat from Giuffre's memoir is what's being said to have forced King Charles's hand. Andrew's infamous 2019 BBC interview had already tanked him, but these graphic claims, okay. It's hard to talk about that stuff, but yeah, that's what they think was the nail in the coffin. So let's talk, what do I know? I have a friend who's very well connected, and this connected friend shall remain anonymous. And I will slap a big fat allegedly on there because this is just information from a friend, but this is a trusted friend of mine. And this trusted friend of mine, who shall remain anonymous, told me, I'm just looking down to make sure I say it correctly because I don't want to get this wrong. Thank you, trusted friend. What's being, I will say, allegedly, Andrew, I'm trying to word this carefully, allegedly to keep the lease on that royal lodge, he did up the outside of the house. He kept up with the outside of the house. He did not keep up with the inside of the house. And by not keeping up, that's potentially, allegedly, what enabled them to break his lease. That's what got him out. If that's the case, that's freaking hilarious. And I don't feel the least bit bad for that guy. See you later. Connected friend speculates possibly that he could go. He was, I think, given a house in Dubai, the way I understand it. So they're speculating that that's where he may end up. Again, alleged, we don't know, but interesting, right? Interesting. So tell me your thoughts on all this. I want to get to the Harry and Meghan of it all and how it could relate. But I want to be respectful of the victims. And I will say, obviously, I hope it's clear, and I've been clear all along, there is a clear difference between the allegations, they are still allegations, but the allegations against Andrew versus what I'm talking about with Harry and Meghan. Nobody has alleged similarly of Harry and Meghan. So be clear about that. But here's my thought. I'm just going to dive into this. Here's my thought. And here, again, I'm in a trusted group with very smart people, and they were wondering, could this be a preemptive move? Or, okay, Could this be King Charles showing that he can do this, which obviously he can. Didn't realize that. Thought it took an act of parliament, but it sounds like the okay. I might be saying that wrong, but wow. Could this be a sweeping change across the board? Could this be this? Okay. Could it be a step toward the non-working royals? Could it be a warning shot? Could it be first Andrew, then, possibly others? Again, how could this relate to Harry and Meghan? We're still speculating at this point, but I just want to talk about it. I think it's a broader royal signal. This sets a precedent. Scandals don't get a pass. So think about public polls. Only, I think it was 20%, something like that, of Brits viewed Andrew favorably pre-announcement. So to me, and again, I'm speculating here, I feel like this is King Charles showing, look, we get it. We're evolving. We got to do something. Or, well, again, as I go into in my recording with John Witherspoon coming soon, John brings up a good point about if they don't make changes, it could mean the firm, basically. So this could be a way of showing the firm is listening, the firm is evolving. Let's talk about the Royal Lodge, and then I do want to go into more Harry and Meghan stuff. But the Royal Lodge is a 30-room Georgian mansion in Windsor's Great Park. It's been Andrew's rent-free, or peppercorn rent is what they call it, since 2003. It's under a 75-year Crown Estate lease he bought for £1 million, plus $7.5 million in refurbishments. The eviction ends a years-long standoff where King Charles pushed Andrew to downsize to Frogmore Cottage, which of course was Harry and Meghan's, for cost and optics reasons. But post-title loss, the lease no longer shields him. So the eviction mechanics, let's talk about that. Formal notice was served today, October 30th, that Andrew must surrender the lease as soon as practicable. No more legal armor. He's out. Moving to a private Sandringham estate property that's going to be funded by King Charles. So they expect this shift to happen by early 2026. So why now? It's just reached a fever pitch. It has to do, in my opinion, the way I'm understanding it, is all the JE stuff, the memoir that's come out, the public outcry, taxpayer fury over his luxury pad. And it was kind of the final straw. It sounds like just so much stuff had added up. And the problem was this lease was basically, it seemed to be ironclad. And again, shout out to John Witherspoon who brought this up. I keep bringing him up because we recorded today and he literally talked about this in the recording. So you'll see this unfold as we discuss in the next few days as I release these episodes. So, but it's just interesting to see. So they figured out a way that the titles vanish. Well, that strips his protections. Again, this is as I'm understanding it at the time of this recording. He's dug in for years, demanding 2 homes, the way I understand it, Frogmore for him and Adelaide Cottage for his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, as a trade-off. But reports are saying no. Basically, well, yes, that's what he's demanding. But again, these reports are coming out saying, no, you're not getting any of that. So I wonder how that, I don't know. I'm again marinating on all this as it comes out. So Andrew and Sarah are said to have shared the $7.5 million updated home for 20 plus years post-divorce. But now what? Separate paths? Her to unspecified location? Him to Norfolk isolation? Or again, as that's a possibility, but my sources are wondering if he'll head to Dubai. Don't know. But this is interesting. This is a precedent. Let's tie it back to Harry and Meghan. This could be a precedent for the non-workers. Andrew's stripping is big. It's showing that these titles are not eternal, especially for scandals or spotlights. So while Harry and Meghan do not, I want to be clear, we know they do not have these kind of claims against them. But if you look at the things they have been accused of, treatment by workers, things like that, if you look at polls, if you look at the public outcry for things that they receive, this could be big. So if Andrew goes, why not them? Again, the insiders are spilling that William is a big reason a lot of this is happening. William is behind this, Prince William, in which case it makes me love him even more. I'm already a big fan, but I think this is great. So again, it leads to, as future king, William could have this executive orders. It's called letters patent, if I understand that correctly, to yank HRHs from non-working royal. So who could that translate to? Harry, Meghan, the kids? I don't know. So this could become a thing, and they could lose everything overnight. I think it's exposing double standards, like Andrew settling into that, living at that house, settling a $12 million suit. Harry and, sorry, I said dollar, I meant pound. Harry and Meghan doing Harry and Meghan things. People like myself screaming about the hypocrisy of it all. And why should they be able to keep the titles? Would you say that they're adding anything? I don't think so. Are they working royals? No. Are they detractors? Yeah, they are. So yeah, I think this is just a big picture thing. The royals, to me, it just reaffirms my love of the monarchy. I do. I'm very pro-royalist. Maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a good step. I do. This is interesting. And I think I'd say good for King Charles and good for Prince William. And of course, our Catherine. I love her. But no, I do. And, again, this is where I invite you to give me feedback. If I have any of this wrong, I apologize. I try to come as prepared as I can. This is big breaking news, so I'm trying to understand it as I go. So if I've got something wrong, by all means, correct me in the comments. But I feel like this is to the best of my knowledge as I'm understanding it. And again, I look forward to you seeing my conversation the next few days as I drop it, because we do go into the what ifs and the possibilities of all this. So it's interesting to see this break. Wow. I'm completely fascinated, intrigued, and I'm dying to know your thoughts on this. So do chime in. Let me know in the comments what you think. As mentioned, I am headed out of town in a few days, soon actually. So if more news comes out, I'll do my best. But if I'm late on reporting on it, that's why. It's okay. Check back to my channel. I have lots of stuff coming out though. But I'm just letting you know, if I miss something, don't worry. It's all good. I will catch it. They always do crazy crap as I'm on the verge of leaving, but it's cool. This is good news. I'm excited. Thank you, Inside Scoop friends, for all your help and helping me understand this and put this information together with me. Thank you to John Witherspoon for recording with me. I spent a couple hours today recording with him. That is so much fun. And I'm excited to see you guys. I'm excited to release it to you guys and see your thoughts on that. Thank you to you all for watching and for your comments and for supporting the channel, for all the hype that you've given and all your feedback and all your lovely remarks. I appreciate that very much. And for all the comments on the Catherine costume I wore earlier. I appreciate that very much. All right. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. And as more news comes out, I will be here to talk about it. But I had to get this one recorded and get your thoughts on all of it. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Patreon peeps, thank you for your understanding and your patience. I've got the new Patreon up. I will have your names added. The new the new members as soon as I return, and you'll start seeing your names at the end again when that happens. And thank you for understanding. And I can't wait to bring you guys more stuff like this. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness gracious. Tell me everything. Are you guys as shocked as I am? What are your thoughts on this? I have to wonder. I'm just speculating. I have no inside knowledge on this. Are more accusations coming out? Are we going to learn more? Was more disgusting stuff coming out? I don't know. I wonder if this was a preemptive move for that. What do you think on the Harry and Meghan stuff? I actually wonder if I'm not just wishful thinking. I'm actually wondering if we're headed in that direction, and this is the precedent for that. This needed to happen first, but what if it follows soon after? What if they do a sweeping, all right, we're taking these away. So that way it's not described as like malicious aim just at them. It's sweeping changes. Good for King Charles and Prince William and etc. The working royals. Good for them. That's awesome. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Thanks so much for being here. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.